All right, here we are. I'm excited for this one.
Straight into it.
Oh, yeah. What's this, episode 6? We're pros now.
I don't know about that. This is, it is episode 6 and it is a Friday. We are coming to you on a Friday. It's going to go up on a Friday, fresh as daisies. But this was yet again your idea, wasn't it, Richard?
Yeah, well, I figured it's been a week since we launched and it would be good to just do maybe every Friday or every so often or whatever, just a weekly review. Like our week in review, the podcast in review. I think this first one will probably be mainly about the podcast. And,
yes.
How we're going and where we're going. But I just think and we could just do it like fun stuff, whatever. I don't know. I don't really have a plan.
Morgs came up with the idea last night. He's like, every Friday, I want to do a podcast where we review our week. And
I wanted to be like after work drinks.
Yeah, which you've always loved.
Do you know what's the one thing I miss about working in a corporate job was actually, or in any job really, if you're a tradie, you're probably, what time is it here? 1:20, you're probably already at the pub if you're a tradie. but it was when the week ends and you go for a drink with your workmates or something like that and everyone's just talking shit around the bar.
Not if they're dickheads.
Well, they sometimes rock up, but even the people that were good, you'd be like, oh, they could see when they get a few into them, they sort of turn into like this. No. I was one of them. What am I talking about? Okay. Hang on a minute. Did I just describe myself?
You definitely described me.
Pretty much. But I figured that would kind of be the thing. So obviously,
and today I said though, like the piss off for me is I'm like all in. I was like, let's do this. I
have a couple of drinks,
and I was like, yeah, so let's have a drink today. Then it's 1:00.
Yeah, but
and then you said
we're going out. Well, we're going out for dinner tonight. I've still got to drive, so
all right.
I would like to have a couple of.
Now, what I love about this podcast as well is obviously the name. Is anything goes and anything really does go. And you guys, the reviews that we've had and the conversations that we've had and the messages that we've had and the shares that you guys have been tagging us in that we absolutely love, that has so been the feedback. You love that anything really goes.
Yeah.
There's been so many laughs. I've had like someone almost fell off their treadmill from laughing. Our girlfriend Shelby said she almost crashed the car at some of Morgan's inappropriate
Someone told me that I had a good like voice for like radio, and I'm like, what are you trying to say, that I'm fucking ugly? Like this whole thing, you got a face for radio?
Baby, you have a face. No, wait.
Have you heard that?
No. You have a voice for radio and a face for TV.
I don't know about that, but that's like the saying, you've got a face for radio. Because no one actually.
No, I've heard it.
Yeah.
I wasn't born in. Oh, I don't know. I was gonna say 10. Is that the right?
That's definitely not the right saying. Definitely not. But look,
yesterday. I wasn't born yesterday. That's the saying.
Yeah. And I wasn't born in a tent. That's when you leave the door open.
Okay. Yeah. Right. I'm with you. But what I had said to Morgan was initially my hesitation with this kind of podcast, as in we're going to wrap it up every Friday and it's just going to be that, us, the fun banter between us. But I said, oh, I don't know about that because we have crazy weeks. Like Morgs and I, we have this big, amazing network marketing business. I still have lots of opinions politically around the world. Like lots happens in our life. Some good, some bad, some indifferent. And I'm like, oh, do we want to like be that honest all the time? And you were like 100%.
Yeah. I don't know. We're just talking shit on the internet here, babe. It's fine. If people hear some of the stuff that we say when they don't like it, it's like Ricky Gervais says. He says it's not like they're coming to dinner. Right? Yeah. So it's fine. But let's talk about the podcast.
Okay. Because that has been the week.
That has been obviously the pinnacle,
the defining moment
of this week, and amongst some other things too. But obviously, we launched pretty much a week ago. And so far, you've got the numbers in front of you. I don't have them.
I've got the number. I feel like so many people, when they're like, if you're watching the Facebook, you have said that. I just completely lost my train of thought then.
Numbers, babe.
Numbers, yeah, but there was something else. Anyway, oh no, who's the cat? Like, who is our Jamie? Like Jamie to Joe Rogan? And I was like, Jamie. No, it's Morgs. He's the legend. He's the tech guy. That
all the camera switching.
I'm waving.
That all gets done. That's all done in post-production.
But I feel really good because today I have something in front of me and I can read it out. So yes, a week ago, just over, we launched the podcast. We have been listened to in 16 countries. Which is really cool. Like we debuted in Hong Kong.
We had 2 listens in Indonesia. Hello, Ben Kelly.
Hi, Ben. No, actually, Indonesia's now at 14.
Is it really?
Downloads, yeah. So there's lots of people. But 16 countries. And Hong Kong, hi Hong Kong.
Hey.
Because we debuted high in Hong Kong. What do
they speak in Hong Kong? They won't speak Mandarin.
Oh, I don't know.
I assume they speak English. I don't know. I don't know what they...
Let us know if someone knows. I could Google. I will Google. So 16 countries. And obviously we debuted at number 2 for... So when you start a podcast, you have to pick a category. Here's some fun facts.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously anything goes. We were like, oh, well... It could, we're in business, but it's not really about business. But we ended up going with, because we were like, we know that ultimately the conversations and the banter and stuff that we even have is all around, it's either kind of education or self-improvement.
Okay.
So that was what it's like, you okayed me. Anyway, I was like, I feel like you weren't listening then.
Kind of wasn't. We talked about this in the relationships podcast. I can be... here in body, but not necessarily mind and spirit, because I was Googling what language they speak.
Okay. And I was like, that probably didn't need an okay. Anyway.
Cantonese. And English.
Awesome. So you pick a category. And so for us, we picked education, subcategory self-development. So you then sort of stay and play and compete pretty much within that category. And so for us, we debuted in self-improvement at number 2, which was phenomenal for Australia.
Yep.
But we were in Canada, top, I'm not sure I can get them. We'll put it in the show notes, I think, like New Zealand, Hong Kong, I think I said Canada. And then for education, which is the larger, because within this category of education, it's like how-tos, self-improvement, and I think 2 or 3 other things.
Okay.
So then
I'm just saying, yeah. How to self-improvement,
for education. Then as a whole, we debuted at number 3.
Yep.
And then self-improvement of all time, I think it was number 22.
That's pretty good.
And you fluctuate. Like that's, you can get bumped out, you can bump lower. But for the week.
Yeah, and it's obviously super stoked to just be in any chart as well. But are some of these categories...
Here comes the humble pie.
Some of these categories... a bit like on Amazon, where you list your book. Okay, I've gone back. I always keep coming back to that coaches who are like best-selling authors, right?
Yeah. Well, you're like, who decides?
Well, they list their book in some like obtuse category that's got 3 other books in it, and then they blow it out in that category. They sell 10 copies. They're like best-selling author as on Amazon.
Well, it's funny, because I actually because I had actually thought, oh my God, we actually picked a super hard category to compete in. Not that it's about competing, but it's like, oh my God, like self-improvement education is the Tony Robbins, the Simon Sinek's, the TED Talks,
we actually bumped Jordan Peterson's podcast.
And you've got it literally behind you. We love Jordan Peterson.
But I don't know if that's actually his podcast though, whether it's just someone who takes his stuff and talks about it or not. But
no, it's been an amazing week, and it's been very humbling. It's been really fun. What's been your favorite thing?
Well, actually, because I love tech stuff as well. I think people, I know I didn't understand how much moving parts there are in a podcast. Like I would love to be. You can just hit record on memos on your iPhone and do a podcast that way, but it sounds like dog shit. But it does, right? But all the cameras and putting all that stuff together and learning about that process, that's actually been a lot of fun for me as well. Learning how to start a podcast, but also just the conversation as well. I love our format in the sense that we didn't have a plan before we did this. Like we decided this morning, we should do a week in review, and like we literally have no notes, but we're just talking back and forward. So I've been wanting something to sink my teeth into for a while, and I really feel like this is it. So I was going
to say something really dirty then.
No. Well, maybe. I don't give a shit, but that's not what I was going to say. But just everybody that's listened and downloaded and left feedback and stuff. And whether, I think we had a 3-star review. And then
it's changed. It's oh my
changed
God.
It too, though. Because like they were 3 stars, and they came back. They went, "No, fuck these people." 2 stars. It's like some deep-seated hatred. But I was like, you obviously didn't hate it enough to give it 1 star. Like, what is it? What even is a 2-star rating?
Okay, my theory.
Because the 3-star one's gone. It's just a 2-star one.
It's now gone, and there's a 2-star on there, and they didn't write any words. No. I think we know who it is. Like, we have our suspicions of who it is. But the funny thing about it was, it's just like, that's what you said the other day. You were like, let's do a podcast on like our first 2-star review.
Like,
no,
call out his username.
I think.
Username.
Well, no, it's not, because you can actually leave. So there's 2 ways that you can leave a review. We've learned on a podcast.
Hey, guy who left us 2-star review.
Hey, guy.
Be a man, all right? Give us 1 star, all right? Go all the way.
Or woman, it could be.
Well,
I'm thinking it's a woman, but anyway.
Okay.
But we're actually going to do a whole podcast. And I said to Morgs the other day, like, I want to sink my teeth into the conversation around bullying and haters, and I call them confused admirers, which they are, because they're like, haters and bullies are always so obsessed with you. But we will do a whole podcast on that and unpack it and just how to navigate that, because everybody gets them, of course.
Sure.
But no, it was funny because we were like, so way to leave 2 reviews. You click the stars, there's stars, and you can just click that, or you can click the stars and write some words, which is phenomenal if you do.
Yeah.
And whoever this 3-star came back, changed it.
Yeah.
But didn't want to make it too obvious.
Maybe they kept listening and then just got more angry or upset about whatever it was and came back and changed it. I really don't know.
I blame you.
But here's the thing about leaving reviews in general, right? Like, you know me, I will rarely leave a negative review on anything.
But if he does.
If I do.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Dip my quill in venom. It's like an old saying, isn't it? No, I go to town, but I really rarely do. I only ever leave positive reviews, and it's never just like 4 stars. It's like, if I loved it, it's 5 stars, then I'll leave a review, right? But if I don't enjoy it, I just don't come back. Right?
No, I'm just thinking. So, a fun fact about Morgan.
You basically have, for me to leave a negative review, you basically have to shit on a plate and serve it to me.
No, but a really fun fact about Morgan, and I don't know where you got this passion from. Why I find this so funny is that it's not that funny, and you're going to kill me, but you're ranked really highly on TripAdvisor.
Oh, I was. When we were traveling so much, I was leaving positive reviews, because everywhere we were going was great. So
and they're all positive, but it's just. Yeah,
but it's like one of those things.
I feel like
I'm in the top 5% on TripAdvisor for Western Australia. It's like, what?
I don't think anyone says it.
I know, but it's like that episode of South Park. They've got all these people that are Yelp reviewers, and they come in expecting like all this like free shit and top level service. Oh, excuse me, sir, I'm a Yelp reviewer. Is there a better table?
So there's this thing that
it's the same thing.
Well, on this topic, I have I'm not a fetish. I was going to say a fetish. There's a couple of things that I love. Other than champagne and hot chips, I love like really good quality bedding. So it's got to be like minimum 1,200 thread count. That's just what we invest money in. And really good glassware. Yeah. I'm a glassware, not snob, but hey, I'll always look. So this
is a fairly new thing for you, though.
Yeah, it is. And so when we go, and it's probably been we've always had good glassware, but I've never been like invested in it. Yeah. But now we'll go to a bar. Where were we that time? And I was looking at the glassware. Like I picked up I was like, oh, baby, it's a Riddell. And like we were talking about it. And for sure, they thought that I was a reviewer.
A food critic? Yeah, they did.
We got like free wine. Like they were going all out.
Well, was this back in Perth?
It was back in Perth.
Where were we? The old synagogue.
That's right.
Fremantle, and you like lifted up the glass and you were at the bottom of it, and then they gave us like this
free food,
a free deep fried whole cauliflower.
It was phenomenal.
It was actually amazing.
It was like the dish of the day.
It was great.
And we got like complimentary wine. Like it was the best. And actually, I love that place, so shout them out. But no, it's just hilarious.
I forgot there was the name of the restaurant within that place, like the old synagogue's like kind of like a complex. It has like a couple of bars.
Yeah, I just can't remember.
Things. It was the main restaurant. It was great though. But yeah, sorry, we'd taken a massive detour there.
No, but I'm like, yeah. And your fun fact is that about you is like you are like you ranked really high on TripAdvisor because you love to leave reviews.
Yeah, but I only leave positive ones.
I feel though, honey, like the older that you get, the grumpier you're getting.
Definitely. Maybe I should do like a Peter Griffin What Grinds My Gears episode on the podcast.
I would love that. We've had some amazing feedback actually, like, and from men and women, but guys that are like messaging us who would never message and be like, and people we don't know, which is amazing and so humbling. I'm saying it because I know you won't say it because you just are too humble. But saying the loveliest things about Morgs. You've read it,
I've read a couple.
Yeah, you know that they.
Do you know what's one thing as well? And I'm surprised it didn't come up on the podcast we did. But that's the other thing we'll talk about too. Is the podcast we did with David. Is how much I don't enjoy praise. Like if someone acknowledges something good that I do, it makes me like. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know, because I'm thinking, because this morning I said, "Oh, you got such beautiful eyes, honey."
Yeah, and I was like, looked away.
Yeah. No, because and then as I was just thinking, I'm like, yeah, because you're not a words of affirmation person.
I'm not motivated by praise.
No, I'm just thinking now. I'm like, yeah, but it's something I've probably never noticed about you. But on that, actually, I really want to talk because we did a podcast back. So obviously, our very first guest, who was always going to be our first guest for us, like we wanted him, David T.S. Wood. We did an interview back for his show, My Extra Mile on YouTube, and it's not up yet. It will be soon, I'm sure.
Soon, yeah.
And in it though, he asked us, he said, we did one on network marketing and then we did one like back to back, and we did the second interview we did on our relationships and love and life together. And he asked us to give everyone homework. He said, well, where, if they're feeling stuck, or where could they go? And you said, what, can you remember?
Don't call me. That's what I said. Don't call me. Call someone else.
No, you said. Can you remember what you said? The piece of homework?
The 5 love languages.
Boom.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
But then just then I was thinking about it because I was like, so this ties into this point.
Babe, I'm full of unsolicited advice.
You are full of unsolicited advice. And you definitely are, the older that you get and the grumpier you get. But I think that was like, that is so cool. But you are not someone. So there's words of affirmation, the 5 love languages, gifts, quality time,
physical touch,
and acts of service, which you call
slavery. acts of slavery. And you'll never guess what Anna is. Acts of slavery. Yeah. No, but anyway, so we're going to do a whole podcast on this. Even if you're like, yeah, oh my God, I can't believe they're talking about this. I've read that book. I know it. Well, this is so key in our marriage. Yeah. So key. But again, I'm just thinking, I'm like, yeah, because you're so not, I would say words of affirmation is probably your last. So I'm never like crazy. If you're ever like, good job, mate, I'm like.
Not me, obviously.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be like, good job, mate.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're amazing,
if it was
baby.
something that I'd really poured like blood, sweat and tears into, and someone was like, wow, that's awesome, I'd be like, cheers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The pat on the back stuff, I don't know.
It's not your thing.
No. What else happened this week?
Well, lots in the business, obviously.
Yeah.
We did a lot of interviews.
Yep.
Like people interviewing us. I've launched a big campaign for the team, which has been huge. So the business, this is the thing. So the big thing for me starting the podcast is obviously I always say, I think, and this is just like my free advice, if for what it's worth. And we talk about this a lot, like how when you're in a build in your business, and I'll never not be in a build. I always say that, like I'm always in the trenches and I'll never be done, and I'm so focused and on network marketing. Yeah. But I always say leaders and people can get distracted. Correct. Yeah. So my big thing with starting a podcast, and probably why I hadn't earlier, even though people have asked us and there was that, request and we'd sort of started to have that desire, I had always said, I don't want myself to feel like it's a distraction. Yeah. And I don't want others, not that I care about that, but I just didn't want others to think, oh, okay, well then she's not as committed, or even our team, to the business and to our team.
But to be fair, all you really have to do is just sit down and talk into the microphone, and I did the rest. So it's like... Exactly.
That's exactly what happens, guys. So like I was just doing my work and he's like, okay, we're going to record 3, 2, 1. And he set everything up and I just talk. So he's amazing. But what I've loved to do the weekend review is that we have launched the podcast, and I have never been more busy and full and satisfied. And I mean, you saw me the other day because you're up here now. Usually Morgan's been downstairs working. Calls and Zooms and people wanting more information and da-da-da. So that's all still going on, which I absolutely love, and it always will. Yeah. So that I'm in business. Yep. Always business.
I received some devastating news today.
Oh.
My phone is not going to make it.
No.
I've been holding out for the iPhone 12.
Yeah.
and which is meant to be coming.
What have I got? iPhone.
You've got not the 11, but the one before it. Okay. So the XS, whatever it is, right? So I've been holding out for it, and I've just been like running this one into the ground, and
literally,
it turns out I'm not going to make it.
Nah.
Which is devastating news.
I know. It's so
Can't
close.
all be roses.
So close because the new Apple whatever is, you told me it's like potentially September. Look, actually, that's ages away.
And if we didn't have all Apple gear, I'd probably drop the iPhone at least. But we're just locked into that ecosystem.
Yeah, I love it.
Can't get out of it. Can't get out of it. So we were going to go to the football tomorrow night too, as well.
We were, and now we're not.
I know.
We're AFL people.
But I'm glad the sport's coming back. It's exciting.
Is it?
Things are opening up. What, sport? Yeah, it's great.
Oh.
It's great.
Well, I know AFL is, and then Victoria has like gone regress.
We don't care about Victoria.
We don't.
No.
We do. If you're listening to Victoria, we absolutely do.
We don't care for your weather.
No, we don't.
We care for your food and culture.
Yes.
And that sort of stuff. But no, it's moving back to Western Australia, which is...
Oh, no, sorry. That's right. Yeah. That's exciting and phenomenal.
So, yeah. And we're also looking... I'd love to hear from some people, if anybody who's been up to maybe like Port Douglas or something like that, or Daydream Island. What was it like?
Well, no. So we're looking.
I'm getting.
Well, we're gonna go on a little trip.
We're gonna try and go on a little trip. Yeah.
Like tourism, Australia.
Maybe we'll take the podcast gear with us and try.
Absolutely. So we're looking where to go.
Yeah.
And obviously, we were looking at North Queensland, so like Cairns or Port Douglas sort of area.
Somewhere a bit warmer.
Or the Whitsundays, of course. And so we were looking at Hayman Island, Daydream Island. Well, they're the two islands that we were looking at. But if you have, because we've been to the Whitsundays twice now. The first time was a trip we won.
Yeah.
And we stayed on, I feel like it was Hayman Island.
I forgot the name. Was it Hayman Island?
And we were in golf carts and we went on a hill.
The guy who owns Wild Oats, the race boat, it's his island. I forgot what it's called. Hamilton Island.
It was Hamilton Island.
Yeah, Hamilton. You're confused.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then the second time was for my 30th, which was like my dream. And since I was a little girl, and we chartered a yacht.
Yeah.
3-bedroom yacht. And we sailed the Whitsundays.
Yeah.
None of us had any idea. But all you had to do was a half a day induction, which was phenomenal.
Yeah.
With that old crazy guy.
I know.
Anyway.
Anytime you said Jesus or oh God, he had like a quip he would say, because he was very anti-religion. And I'm not religious, but I don't care either way.
But I think we then almost did it to stir up. We loved it. But he was crazy. So what we did, and then we hired this yacht and we went out in the ocean. Like we literally sailed the Whitsundays for 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days or 5 days? I think it was 3 nights.
We had to cut it short. I think we had it for 5 or 6 nights, but we had to cut it short for some reason. We had to be somewhere.
That's our life, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, so that was phenomenal. That was like the greatest, and the nets, and we would...
Speaking of nets, not too keen on the Whitsundays because it's sharks.
I know, sharky AF.
Like I know it's people who are like...
But you're from Perth and Western Australia.
And your chances of being eaten by a shark, there's whatever it is, more chance to win lotto. I get that, but I'd rather win lotto than be eaten by a shark. But
also, it's sharks and you can die. Yeah. So... No, but the whole point of this is we've done it twice. We absolutely love it. I love it.
I'm
thinking it's phenomenal.
We almost booked the other night.
But if we did, we had to cut the wines, and I was like, threw him the card. I'm like, book it. I'm so glad you didn't. Because now I'm like, I want to take some more time and find even Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
We're looking at Blue Mountains as well. So the point is, if you are someone that has like gone somewhere and stayed in the most beautiful hotel in like the Whitsundays or Port Douglas or the Blue Mountains, please let us know.
Yeah, and I think as well, it's just a good time to be getting out and supporting local tourism. I know that people can't come to Queensland right now. Hopefully that's going to change soon. But even within your own states, there's so many and good deals as well that are going to support local companies, local jobs and things like that too. So I think for us at least, it's time to get out of the Gold Coast and go live it up a little bit, because the weather here is great, but I'm a bit cabin feverish as well.
Yeah, so Morgs and I are travellers. We've done 150. I've actually got
150 cities. I can't remember how many countries it is.
It was 45 or 50. I think it might be.
I think it's over 50 now.
I think it's 50 because it was like 50 and 150.
Yeah.
So 50 countries, 150 plus cities.
And we're not talking like, I stopped in the airport on the way to tick, that's a country. Like you have to...
7 nights in Morocco.
You have to have actually left
Of course, but that's the rule.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure there's people out there like, I've been to 195 countries, like just passing through. Liars.
But we are travellers. So this is the longest in 7 years. No, since 2012 we've done it. So 8 years. The longest in 8 years that we've been grounded.
Yeah.
Like stayed in one spot. I remember in I think it was 14.
Saved a shitload of money.
We have. Oh my God. That is where I always say, show me your bank account and I'll show you your values. Yeah. And travel is so high for us. Freedom and travel. And it's like, holy hell. Like it's great. It's been phenomenal. But I'm so ready to get out in the world again. But it's like, where do we go?
Yeah.
You can help. We should actually let people, I don't know actually. I was like, we should let them pick.
Where we want to go. What if they send us somewhere, some shithole?
I take it back. No, they wouldn't do that. But we go, okay, Blue Mountains, Whitsundays, Port Douglas.
Yeah.
You get to pick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, again, you can within Australia. You can't. I'd like to go back to Tasmania for a winter escape. It's snowing there at the moment, but you can't get there.
Yeah, I know.
You can't get there.
Yeah, it's hard.
Which makes me wonder. It's like Tasmania. Like, there's such a small population. Like, they need tourism to come in and support them. But anyway,
I think there's a lot of old people down there. I'm not sure.
Yeah. They're not going to drive the economy. Hate to tell you.
No, I know they're not going to drive the economy, but they're keeping borders shut because of COVID.
People. Yeah,
and old people.
Old people to rescue the economy.
Them. What did we say the other day actually on that? I was like, I loved our mentality around it. I said, or we said we'd even pay more tax. What did you say? You said, I'd pay more tax to make sure.
I would pay more tax if it meant that the economy could become a bit, we'd drop some of these like more rigid restrictions to ease things up for the economy so things can get moving again. I would pay more tax. So people who are at risk.
Yeah, we said like disabled,
whatever the risk categories are.
Yeah.
So the government could afford to pay them money to stay at home.
Yeah, to keep them safer and well.
And I think if you spoke
that's a great idea.
I think if you spoke to, a lot of people who are either in business or even just, are working a job where they manage people, or whatever it is, right? I think most people who are reasonable would say, look, I'd be happy to pay a bit of extra tax if it meant that we could get things going again and ease some restrictions and get people back to work.
Yeah, I just thought
because I think you could, and if you could help protect the vulnerable and do that as well, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Let's get the economy going again.
Yeah. It's, I know, ScoMo, if you're listening, mate.
Scott, if you're listening, call us.
Call us.
Yeah. We're going to have some politicians on the podcast, actually.
Coming soon.
I'm really excited.
Soon. Yes, I'm really...
Coming soon.
Really, really soon. So, right. So we're just coming up to 30 minutes now. But look, we'll wrap it up just with like, what's the plan for next week?
Some amazing interviews with some incredible people.
Yeah.
So the idea is that we're going to go one interview a week, one of ourselves like of value. So like we're going to talk about business or relationships or marriage. Actually, I will quickly park that for a second and say we obviously did the relationship episode last week and the overwhelming feedback was, I really wish you guys would have talked about sex. So we definitely will do.
Who are these dirty people who ask about sex?
No, but this is what I said to Morgan.
You got the wrong idea. Anything goes. That's not this podcast.
This podcast. I had said to Morgs, actually, this is like an important thing to say because I said, so first of all, I had said I wanted to keep that one without it because ultimately you have great sex and you keep a relationship spicy and a marriage spicy and wanting one another and sexual when you fulfill all those other things, when your love tank is full. And so that was what that first episode was about. So I didn't want to make it about sex because when you do, then that's all it becomes about. But I said to Morgs, because he'd said that, he's like, where, like, what? Because it was overwhelming. And I said, well, I feel like, from my own interpretation, is that there's this massive gap. It's kind of like you have these relationship coaches or sex relationship coaches, I would say, who are amazing. So they're all amazing. But I'm saying like either like tantra and like super like, we have sex 17 times a day. Why aren't you? Like to make you feel shit about yourself.
Like cuckolding.
Pardon?
Cuckolding. You don't know what that is?
No.
It's like, have you heard this?
No.
So this is like when you're in a relationship, but you have a guy. You have a lady brings in another guy, and she shags her while the partner watches.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know, right?
Hot.
It's a thing.
No.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
So there's that.
What sort of a dude would you have to
here
be to be like, yeah, have at it, mate. Help yourself.
Tail my wife up.
Yeah, well, I watch like a sorry piece of shit sitting in the corner. Like, what?
Well, some people might really enjoy that.
Yeah,
and
well, you probably need to take a good hard look. I'm sure the person who's being brought in and the partner, the lady, love it. I'm sure they're the people that love it, not the. You know what I mean?
No, but anyway, my point is, there's that. What is it called? Cuckolding. There's not that, but like. Did you say it's cuckolding?
Cuck.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why, like, apparently, like, in America, an insult that Trump supporters like to give the other side is they call them a cuck.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very mature.
Do you know what the show notes? They've got to have a thing now that says cuckolding.
Oh, God. Okay, so there's that. Babe, focus. So there's that spectrum of, like, tantra and, like, you know, all this, not insanity. I think it's beautiful and amazing, but, like, hardcore. And then it's kind of then just, like, you're broken and not having any sex and you need a psychologist, like, the other end. And in between, there's not that kind of just general, honest, casual conversation
for
about
the everyday person.
For the everyday person. Yeah. So anyway, so we are definitely going to have that. So it's going to be every week to go back is one interview with an amazing guest and everyday people. This is something that we're really excited about. Like, I am going to bring my mum on, who is I don't like the word. I need to think of a word. Like,
I don't like the term survivor. I've been seeing it so much lately.
I know,
because I know they don't want to say you're a victim. Yeah. So you're a survivor. But in order to become a survivor, at one point you were a victim. Yeah. So I don't understand really what you're trying to...
She's a legend that has come through in a lot of domestic violence. So I'm going to have an amazing conversation around that with my mum. And I think I said to Morgs, it's going to be really interesting because the dynamic of mother-daughter, you know, a mother who experienced it and myself and a daughter who experienced it. But then, anyway, I'm really excited. So there's going to be lots of just ordinary conversations with amazing people. I should say extraordinary conversations with the ordinary everyday person. And then there's going to be you and I having like a more value conversation. So we'll bring some value to the world, hopefully. Yeah. And then this every Friday.
Yep, sure. I'd like to bring in as well, just back on that whole topic as well, like some sort of therapist or psychologist.
Yeah, I said that the other day. I was like,
if you know someone.
If you have a really good... Well, I said I want...
They've got to be... I want someone who's legit, not like your Instagram coach.
NLP weekend course coach. I had said the other day I wanted to have a sex therapist on the show.
Like someone with a proper degree and a science background to it all.
Yeah. But do you mean, because that's what I want? I'm like,
typically speaking, like a sex psychologist would have a degree in psychology and understanding how the brain works and personalities and things like that as well.
Yeah. I'm super excited for those conversations though. So we're going to get those kind of people on and then have these really interesting, in depth, but it's fun. And Morgs was like, oh babe, but I'm very honest. You are too.
I'd love to get him in the studio because I know we did
100%.
We did those couple of podcasts with David over Zoom and they were great, but I just way prefer this.
Same. Yeah. It's awesome when you can have someone here. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why we said as well, like we'll travel and do...
have Mike will travel.
Have Mike will travel. And that's the beautiful thing about this. Like we've got that freedom and flexibility and team all around the world. Yeah. So actually that's another really exciting thing randomly, but our business is about to launch in... Our lives are just about to get very busy. Yeah. More full. So our business is about to launch into 13 new countries in less than a month. Yeah. So
mainly European countries, a couple of Asian ones, I think.
Yeah. No, it's all European.
All European.
It's all European.
It's very exciting. I needed an excuse to go to Europe. When are we opening up in Greece?
Great question.
That's not one of them. Oh, my mic.
No. All right.
Okay.
Do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah. Look, thanks for listening. We'll be back again next week with a couple more. I hope you guys will have a great weekend. Hope you've enjoyed listening. This one was just a bit off the cuff, bit of fun. But if you enjoyed it, again, just leave a rating to let us know if you love it. We'll keep more coming or we'll try something different if you don't.